Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy, and today we're going to unbox a Black Series 3 3/4 inch Captain Phasma. So let's go set this girl free, come on. Alright everyone, here we are with a Captain Phasma 3 3/4 inch Black Series figure. And this is Captain Phasma from The Force Awakens. And we are going to unbox this figure today, but before we get that far, let me quickly spin this thing around, let you guys take a look at the whole package. And there's not a whole lot to it. Another picture of Phasma on the back here and a quick description. I'll go ahead and read that to you guys. Captain Phasma, clad in distinctive metallic armor, Captain Phasma commands the First Order's legions of troopers. Not really saying a whole lot except that she's the boss. So there you go. Alright. Let's unbox her here, and we will take a look at Captain Phasma up close. And so, if you don't know a lot, or you're not familiar with the Black Series line, what these are is a little bit higher end figures. They're a little more expensive. They're going to cost you a little bit more money, but the reason that is because there's a little bit more detail in these figures. So, and I'll show you guys that here. And I'm trying to figure out how to get her. They got her cape through the back of the package. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'm not totally sure. Alright. There she goes. Okay. Let's put her blaster in her hand here. Very nice. Okay. I'm just trying to put her in a presentable position. But here she is, 3 3/4 inch Black Series Phasma. And yes, very nice set of armor. You can see the back there. And of course, her blaster. And then the cape. So, alright, so as I was saying about these being a little bit higher end figures, they're a little bit more expensive. And so what I wanted to do really quick here is do a quick comparison of two figures. So what I have here in my other hand here is, if the camera would focus, okay, there we go. This is a regular 3 3/4 inch Black Series Captain Phasma. This is from the regular Force Awakens line. And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If you look at Phasma's armor for the Black Series one, this is the one in my right hand. I don't know if you guys can tell that on camera, I guess. There are little differences to the figure. One of them is what I'm seeing off top of my head here is you can see the Black Series figure, the cape is a little bit shorter, whereas the one from the regular line, it's a little bit longer. And here, let's pop, this is the regular Phasma's gun, but like some of the other things, like I was talking about, they put more detail in it. So this is the Black Series. You can see the weapon has more detailing to it. It's a little bit more paint. There's a little bit more texture to it. I'm seeing if I get it up close so you can see. But see, like if you look at the stock of the gun on the Black Series one, you can see there's a little bit more detailing to it. There's paint on the, if you look at the undergrip of that one versus the undergrip of that one, you can see there's paint. So you can see the differences in the guns. And like there's other small details too. Like if you look at the pouches on her side here. On the regular one of them's all black, one of them's all gray. Well, it's like black with a gray top or gray lid. And if you look at the Black Series one, you can see how like this little pouch here is black and gray, and there's like a little line in that one. But it's just there's just a little bit more detail. Like here's another good example. If you look at the back of her, you can see the little canister that they have on the back of their armor, how the Black Series 1 is actually painted and got highlights and stuff like that. But the main reason I'm doing this is, I just wanted to show you guys that there is a slight difference. So if you spend a few dollars more, I'm going to take her off that stand. And like, for example, here's another good example. If you look at the little emblem on her armor there, you can see on the regular one, it's not painted. But if you look at the Black Series one, you can see it's actually painted. They got a little black highlights in there. So just wanted to show you guys the difference between a Black Series and a regular series. So if you're deciding which one you want to add to your collection, do you want to spend a few extra dollars and get the figure with a little bit more detail, or maybe Captain Phasma is not your favorite character and you don't want to do that? Maybe you'd rather have a little bit cheaper Captain Phasma, then you go with their standard figure, or you can spend a few extra dollars and get the nicer Black Series figure. So, all right. So, real quick, I want to run through her movements here, and one thing I'm kind of curious about is if the cape is removable. And so some of the figures you can, if you want to remove her cape, this is how you're going to have to do it, because you can see there's no notch or anything cut out where you can just clip it onto her, and you can see how small the hole is that goes around her neck. There's no way you're going to pull that over her head. So some of these figures you can pop the head off. It's just a simple ball joint, and you just pull straight up and you push it straight back in. So if you want there to be cape off or cape on, depending on what you prefer, you can do that. And I just wanted you guys to be able to see the back of her armor without me having to hold the cape up. So, all right, so real quick, let's run through her movements. And as you saw, her head is on a ball joint, so you should have full rotation up and down, side to side. And then looking at her shoulders here, oh wow, okay. So you have shoulder rotation and you have up and down. And one of the things why I was saying oh wow is sometimes with these troopers in the armor, what you have is restricted movement, because like the shoulder plate will hit the chest plate and then you won't be able to move the arm all the way up. But what they did, you have to look real close here, is they sculpted it so the shoulder armor goes under the chest armor, so you have a lot more range of movement. So that's very good. Okay, and then so looking at her elbow here, you should have elbow up and down and a full rotation. And with her wrists, you have a rotation and an up and down movement. And then let's see here. Okay, so sometimes on these Black Series figures, they put the torso articulation or maybe waist articulation. They actually move it up a little bit on some of these figures, and it's right here where her chest armor is. You can see she has a little bit of movement. You got a little side to side and a little bit so you can like lean her forward, lean her back a little bit. So that's cool. And then I'm trying to see here. No waist movement. And then so here at her hips, you should have a full rotation. But I am getting a little bit of armor scraping there. You can see the leg armor's scraping her armor plate, lower armor plating there on her torso. And let's see here. So forward movement on her legs, that's about all you get. And here's a perfect example of the armor limiting the articulation. That's her forward and backward movement on her legs. It's not a lot of movement. That's about it. And then moving down to her knees here, you should have knee rotation and forward and backwards. And foot, ooh. Okay, so her foot does rotate and it goes up, back and forth like that as well. But you can see here, when you try to rotate her foot, the shin piece of her ankle, you can see these little pieces that hang down over her shins. Well, that prevents you from rotating it all the way. But what I'm seeing, what they did here is it looks like they put a little bit of flex in that piece. So if you do want to rotate it, you can still do it and you're not breaking your figure or distorting it at all. So that's very cool. There's just a little bit of flexibility on these tabs down here, so you can fully rotate her foot. All right. Good deal. Okay. So then, real quick here, I know we already looked at it, but here's a quick look at her blaster. And one thing you'll notice on the blaster is this little tab that is right here sticking out. And there's a reason for that. You're going to see there's a little slot cut out on her leg armor right there. And that's basically like a simple little holster. What you're going to do is you're going to stick that little tab into the little slot, and then Phasma has her blaster attached to her hip. So there you go. Not a full holster that you're going to actually slide the gun into, but it gets the job done. Okay. So, I don't know, I'm looking like this part of this gun moves, but it does not. I thought maybe the stock slid out a little bit, but it does not. Okay. So, let's put her cape back on. And just, again, here's a quick look at her cape. We got the red stripe on it, but it's just flexible plastic, not cloth. And so what you want to do here, again, pop the head off, pop the cape on, and head back on. There you go. Simple as that. Very simple. Okay. So let's see how well she holds her gun here. And here's a real quick, what I'm talking about, the difference between the two guns. So here's the regular standard 3 3/4 inch Phasma blaster, and here's the Black Series blaster. And see, like, just look at the handle. You can see it's a big handle, and then here you can see the difference, how the handle is much more to scale with the gun, and it actually has highlights on it and everything like that. But just an example of the difference between Black Series and regular action figure blaster. But let's see how well she holds this. And I'm trying to see if I can get it in there a little bit. There's like a little actual trigger on the gun. I'm trying to see if I can get her to hold it. Okay. There you go. Alright, so there she is holding it. You can see the little tiny trigger under there. I'm trying to get her finger to wrap around it, and she doesn't really seem like she's going for it too much. So, and you should be able to put it in both hands. Let's see here. Okay, she holds it in her other hand, but it's just not quite as a tight a grip. So, alright. No problem. Okay, guys. Let's see here. Alright, everyone. There she is. This is your 3 3/4 inch Black Series Captain Phasma from the Force Awakens. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate your support. And if you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.